It starts with a principle. It sounds fair. At least, he thought it was. On your first date, he says it clearly. Let's do AA. It's fair. It's modern. You nod. It sounds reasonable. You don't think much of it. 3 months in, you still remember that sentence. Because it turns out, he does too. Very selectively. One afternoon, you go out together. He says he's craving milk tea. You are too. So you go together. He orders a coconut latte, 30 yuan. You order lemon tea, 25. At the counter, he doesn't move. Not reaching for his phone, not doing anything. So you pay. You think about it for a second. It's not expensive. You let it go. A few minutes later, your phone buzzes. He transfers you 12.5 with a message, just now's milk tea. Let's split it. You stare at the screen. Your brain does the math. He ordered 30. You ordered 25. But somehow, only your cup qualified. And in that 12.5 transfer, something clicks. You notice it, and then you let it go. Welcome to the show, I'm Liam. And here on The Glitch in the Room, we look at relationships through the lens of red, sharing the stories and signals that reveal what modern dating culture really looks like. So just sit back, relax, and make yourselves comfortable. On red, there's a term that keeps popping up in many posts. AA. It's short for splitting the bill. On the surface, AA represents something modern. Independence, equality, a clean break from older expectations that men should cover the financial side of the relationship, an idea reinforced by families and cultural norms. And in theory, there's nothing wrong with it. But what makes AA interesting on platforms like Red isn't the practice itself. It's how often it becomes a rule, selectively applied. In these stories, AA isn't about fairness, it's about exactness. It appears in the moments when someone wants to guard their own interests while quietly benefiting from shared resources elsewhere. Drinks are split, tickets are split, ride shares are calculated down to the cent. Food is shared freely, time flows without boundaries, emotional labor goes uncounted. That's where this episode's archetype begins to take shape. Not going Dutch, but double standards disguised as equality. A system where fairness hides a lack of generosity, where boundaries are enforced only in one direction, where the rule is clear, but only when it benefits the person who sets it. And yet, not everyone embraces it. In Chinese dating culture, where AA is growing, many women actively push back. Men are still expected to cover certain expenses, a norm reinforced by upbringing and tradition. So the question isn't, should couples split the bill? It's something quieter. What kind of person uses AA this way?
Because once money becomes a character test, it stops being about numbers. It starts revealing how someone understands partnership, responsibility, and what they believe should be shared, and what should never be.
Let's get back to the story. After that, it keeps happening. Every time you pass a milk tea shop, he suddenly forgets his wallet. Dinner works the same way. He says, I'll treat you next time. Though next time never comes. When you joke about it, he laughs. Between couples, does it really matter who pays? But somehow, it always matters when it's his money. Then comes his birthday. You buy him sneakers, 600 yuan. He's thrilled. He posts them. He wears them out the same night. Then your birthday comes. He sends a message, Happy birthday. That evening, he hands you a bag. Smiling. Mysterious. I prepared a surprise. You think, at least he remembered. You open it. It's a slice of cake. Looks familiar. And then you realize something. He ate the rest that afternoon. He looks at you and says, very casually, I picked one up for you while I was there. You're quiet for a moment. Then you ask, half joking, so, do you want to split this cake too? And that's when it hits you. This was never about fairness. This was about control. A system where his spending is intentional, yours is communal, where AA is a rule, but only when it benefits him, where generosity flows one way and the language of equality hides the imbalance. And once you see it, there's no going back. Because the glitch was never the money. It was the person who knew exactly when to split and when to share. What is yours. What is mine is ours. And now you wonder, how many other rules in this relationship are dressed up as fairness, but really only serve one side?
And this is the image I want to leave you with. You, sitting across the table, a slice of cake between you, a calculator clicking away in someone else's head. Let's get right to the comments. If a guy insists on AA like this, just pass, replace him. Or just break up, he's cheap. Do you really have to have this man? Where did you pick up this trash? The tone isn't confused, it's decisive. One comment cuts straight to the point. Look at the double standard. He demands fairness when it's his money, but he demands generosity when it's your resources. It's clear this isn't really about the money. This isn't really a fight about AA. It's a fight about selective equality. To most people, the issue is immediately clear. AA is supposed to be mutual. What's described here isn't. And what's interesting is that when men talk about AA, the criticism doesn't disappear. It just sounds different. When I'm with my girlfriend, I don't let her spend a single cent. That's not AA, that's provider mode. I'm willing to spend money because I care, but it has to be what I can afford. What matters is whether she can feel the intention. The more you love someone, the more you're willing to spend. Even the women responding to these posts emphasize fairness. He sends me money, but I save it to buy things for him. We share expenses. Sometimes I even pay. The rule is consistent. The glitch isn't AA itself. It's when AA becomes a way to avoid love, respect, and responsibility. AA is not exactness. It's an agreement. One thing becomes clear once you step back from the comments. 1. AA is not exactness. It's an agreement. 2. Shared expenses can be shared, but gifts cannot be forced. 3. If you want to talk about fairness, you have to count more than money.
Because what unsettles people in these stories isn't the act of splitting a bill, it's the imbalance hiding behind it.
The moment fairness is enforced only in one direction, it stops being about equality and starts becoming a shield. And that's why so many of these posts feel familiar. The details change: milk tea, rent, birthdays, but the structure stays the same. What is yours, what is mine is ours. And once you see that rule at work, you start noticing what happens when the relationship stops being just about two people. Because if fairness already bends inside a couple, it doesn't straighten out when families, expectations, and obligations are added. It usually hardens. And that's when the glitch stops being personal and starts becoming inherited.